Hey there, giant fans of fun. It's Thad, the theme park giant. Today is September 19th, 2024, and we had some very exciting news in the roller coaster world today. Very surprising announcement from Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio. They are building a brand new roller coaster for 2025, and it is called Siren's Curse. Now, when I say this was a surprising announcement, I mean, this did come out of nowhere. The big news lately was that they had just taken out, they had announced they were closing Snake River Falls, the big splashdown boat ride that's been at the park for, I don't know, about 30 years. But I think a lot of the assumption was, well, they're taking this water ride out, they're probably going to put something else in. But they announced this Vekoma Tilt Coaster, and it's not even going in the area where Snake River Falls was. So this came out of left field. It caught me by surprise, but I'm really excited about this. If you don't know about these tilt coasters, so there's only one that's active in the world, and it is in Taiwan. But there's 3 others being built right now. There was supposed to be one that opened this year down in Texas at Codaland, but that got delayed, so it's next year. And then the Six Flags over in, what is it, like Kidya City? Sorry for that, but over in Saudi Arabia, they're building one, and that's going to open also in 2025. But this will be, well, I guess depending when Codaland opens, the first tilt coaster in the US and North America. And regardless of when Codaland opens, this will be the biggest and fastest and all that, like Cedar Point will always do. But if you don't know about these Vekoma Tilt Coasters, it's a unique ride. We've got Valraven here in the back, which has the B&M dive coasters, which have like the 90-degree drops with the holding brakes. So it is kind of a similar idea, but a few of my friends have been on the ride Gravity Max in Taiwan, and they told me it is a pretty crazy experience. And these are people that have been on like 2,000 roller coasters. So when they tell me something's pretty crazy, I'm going to listen to them. If you don't know the mechanism of it, you have your standard lift hill. You can see here, that track that's straight up. You see how it's not connected to the actual lift hill. That will flatten out, and the train pulls onto it, gets locked in with a mechanism, so it's not going to go anywhere. And then the track will actually tilt at a 90-degree angle, hold you there, and then drop you. Pretty cool idea. I've always wanted to do the one in Taiwan, so I'm excited there's one actually coming here, much closer to me. But I'm really excited for this. Vekoma has been knocking it out of the park the last few years from everything I've heard. I haven't been to Europe since 2016, so I've missed out on this whole new generation of Vekomas that just seem to kick butt. You have like Phoenix, Lake, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know my friends that have been on those rave about them. Vekoma has kind of gone from the kind of picked on coaster, like major coaster company. Like 20 years ago, Vekoma was kind of a joke. The SLC's pretty bad. A lot of their other rides just weren't very good. And I feel like when they started to work with Disney on things, they really had to up their quality. And since that time, Vekoma has just incrementally become better and better and better with each new ride that they put out. So the fact that Cedar Point is even working with Vekoma on something, I think says a lot about where they've come from. Because if you think of Vekoma, if they would have announced something in 2010, that Vekoma was going to build a ride at Cedar Point, I think the coaster community would have been up in arms, where now it's a much different story. So I'm really excited for this. Let's get into some of the details here, because I think it's going to be a really cool ride. So This is the official website Cedar Point put out for the announcement. The tallest, longest, fastest tilt coaster in North America. They're putting a little story around it. Don't really see much theming here, but like, we'll get into that later. I don't need as much theming at Cedar Point on roller coasters as a lot of people seem to want. I mean, there's theme parks for those types of things. I don't consider Cedar Point like a theme park, you know, it's an amusement park. So I get people would like something like that, but like I said, we'll get into that later. So yeah, gonna be the tallest, longest, and fastest tilt coaster in North America. But the sirens of the lake, who lured sailors to their underwater demise with their sweet, seductive song, will finally rise to the land above Cedar Point and attempt to entrap you in a sinister 2-minute fate of non-stop roller coaster innovation. So as you can see here, it is located in that area. So like, you know, we've got, sorry, I'm terrible at, so you got Iron Dragon Station right here, this green thing. So it's across the midway from there. You can see Valraven behind it. You know, Top Thrill 2 is right there. And you're also going to have like Corkscrew in the area. You can see that in the background. Rougarou is over here, Millennium Force. So like there's a lot of action going on. But what I love about this is this plot of land has just been kind of dead for a few years. Ever since they took out Wildcat, the old, was that a Schwarzkopf? I think that was a Schwarzkopf Wildcat model. But ever since they took that out, they've been trying to figure out what to put in here. I think there was a stage or something. Was this the nighttime show? I'm not good with all that because I haven't really gone for the nighttime stuff the last few times I've been there. But yeah, I love this. Like, this is just unutilized space, and now you're going to put this unique roller coaster in here. So let's go read a little more on this. Height is going to be 160 feet, 58 miles an hour, and like they said earlier, duration's 2 minutes. Let's take a look at the video here. Sorry, it already, there we go. So there you can see the drop track, how it is connected with the lift hill. And right now, you're going to pull onto it, get locked in, and then the whole thing is going to swing. There we go. See, now I think that's going to be freakier than any of the B&M dive coasters. 90-degree drop, looks like some major airtime on this first hill, and then this like diving turn into this 360-degree barrel roll, and then just a ton of these like drops and tight turns, and there's a triple down in here, and then another barrel roll. I think it looks really cool. Answer the call. Siren's Curse. So there you go. That's just a quick POV of it, but I think it looks awesome. Looks like a bit of a, if Valraven and Maverick had a baby, this would be it. And I mean, anything that reminds me of Maverick is probably going to be pretty good, I hope. Now, back to the theming. I like what Cedar Fair's done at some of their bigger parks the last few years. They've added some theming to their bigger rides. You know, a lot of the bigger coasters have got these like ride plazas. You know, you usually have a huge, really well-themed sign in there. The coaster kind of gets its own area away from everything else. So I know it's not Disney level or Universal level theming, but for an amusement park, I think Cedar Point, or Cedar Fair in general, is much better than any of the other amusement park chains with that stuff. So do I expect this to be super well themed? No, I don't. It's a roller coaster at Cedar Point. If this was going into Universal or if this was going into Disney, yeah, I would expect more. So I can understand the complaints from people that would like to see more theming at a place like Cedar Point, but I don't know. I just don't know that you're ever going to get that kind of stuff. I would love to see like a great dark ride go into Cedar Point, you know, something in that old, what was that, the pirate ride? Back in the day, they used to have that old dark ride, but maybe redo that and go above and beyond with the theming. Because, you know, if you work with someone like Sally, like look at what Lost Island in Iowa did with their dark ride shooter. That thing's incredible. So I think you can still have that kind of stuff at a park like Cedar Point, but I just don't think you're ever going to see it on roller coasters. So, and I'm a theme park guy. You know, I'm the theme park giant. I live in Orlando, but this doesn't really bother me. So, I don't know. But I've yapped for quite a bit on this, but I was just really excited. We had some coaster news that came out of nowhere at one of my favorite parks, you know. And I think, especially with the disappointing 2024 coaster season in the US, you know, with things not even finishing construction at most of the Six Flags, like Codaland is behind on their ride. Top Thrill 2 was obviously a huge disappointment this year. I mean, it was only open, you know, you had the preview weekend, like media day, and then you got 2 weekends basically where the ride was open. I was fortunate enough to be there the last day that it actually ran. What was that, like Friday, May 11th or something like that. And then I was there the next day when it closed and no one knew what was going on. But, so yeah, hopefully next year Cedar Point's basically adding 2 new roller coasters because a lot of people didn't get to ride Top Thrill 2. And now you're adding, you know, the this new Siren's Curse ride. So as a fan of Cedar Point, I'm really excited. I'm definitely going to get up there this year for, or next year for another visit. I'm trying to go to Cedar Point almost every year these days anyway, but when they put in a ride like this, I'm definitely going to be there. So I'm curious what all you coaster people think about this announcement. Are you excited to finally get a Vekoma Tilt here, especially at a park like Cedar Point? Are you excited that these new Vekomas are starting to infiltrate the US as well? Because I'm excited to ride one. I've just heard such amazing things. So yeah, leave a comment in the comment section. Thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. If this is something you like, give the video a like. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'm starting to do a lot more content, theme parks here in Central Florida. I am a big roller coaster guy. There's always going to be roller coaster content here as well. So if that's your kind of thing, give the channel a subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Are you excited about this? Are you not? I'd love to hear it. Okay, thanks for watching, and make sure you get out there and have a giant day of fun, and we'll see you next time.